Ashmita from Saurav's classes. In today's class, we are solving ISS IES 2022 question paper, focusing on the general studies portion where you have to write answers within 200 words, not exceeding the word limit. You have to stick to it. And here in these series of videos, I am focusing only one question per video. So if you want to continue with all the questions, you can just like follow our channel, and I have already solved the previous questions. So in today's class, I would be focusing only on question number 3C. All right. I have already mentioned which question paper is this. This is the 2022 question paper, General Studies of ISS and IES, focusing on 3C. Distinguish between repo rate and reverse repo rate. Explain their relevance in the present context of inflation. First, you need to talk about repo rate, then reverse repo rate. Then you need to talk about how these are affecting the present context of inflation, how these things are working. Okay, first we are going to talk about the repo rate. As we have already discussed, that is number 3C, we are starting. The interest rate that the RBI charges when commercial banks borrow money from it is called the repo rate. The interest rate that the RBI pays the commercial banks when they park their excess cash with the central bank is called the reverse repo rate. So talk about these two things first. Then, since RBI is also a bank and has to earn more than it pays, the repo rate is higher than the reverse repo rate. At present, the repo rate is 4% and the reverse repo rate is 3.35%. Okay, so this you will have to mention. This is very, very important for having a very good impression on the person who is checking your answers. During high levels of inflation in the economy, the RBI increases the reverse repo. So talk about its context with the inflation. Okay, when inflation is there, what happens with the reverse repo rate and with the repo rate? It encourages the banks to park more funds with the RBI to earn higher returns on excess funds. Banks are left with lesser funds to extend loans and borrowings to the customers. Here you see I have given you the difference between repo rate and the reverse repo rate. You can talk about this also. It is that rate which RBI lends money to the banks, at which the RBI lends money to the bank, and reverse repo rate is that rate at which the RBI borrows the money from the banks. Then you can talk about it is higher than the reverse repo rate, it is lower than the repo rate. It is used to control inflation and deficiency of funds, that is the repo rate under repo rate. And under reverse repo rate, you can talk about how it helps to manage the cash flow. Now, repo rate involves the sale of securities which could be repurchased in future, and reverse repo rate involves the transfer of money from one account to another. So here we can talk about, at last we can talk about about inflation and how these things are affecting the society along with inflation. Now, RBI keeps changing the repo rate and the reverse repo rate according to the changing macroeconomic factors. Whenever RBI modifies the rates, it impacts all the sectors of the economy, albeit in different ways. So how it affects the different sectors of the economy that you need to mention about. Okay, some segments gain as a result of the rate hike, while others may suffer losses. RBI recently cut down the repo rate by 25 basis points to 5.15% from 5.75%. Now, in the same line, the reverse repo rate was also reduced to 4.9% from 5.5%. Now, changes in the repo rates can directly impact the big ticket loans such as home loans. Okay. Uh, The decrease in the repo rates is to aim at bringing in growth and improving the economic development in the country. Consumers will borrow more from banks, thus stabilizing the inflation. So it helps in stabilizing the inflation. A decline. So that was all about the decrease in the repo rates. Okay, how that will affect along with inflation. And when we are talking about a decline in the repo rate, we will also talk about how it can lead to the banks bringing down their lending rate. Okay, this is another thing that happens. This can prove to be like beneficial for the retail loan borrowers. However, to bring down the loan EMIs, the lender has to reduce its base lending rate. As per the RBI guidelines, banks or financial institutions are required to transfer the benefit of interest rate cuts to consumers as soon as possible. Yes, so that was all about this answer, how inflation is affecting along with the current repo rate and the reverse repo rate in today's context. So that's it for today's class. If you have any queries, you can just post down your comments below and we are there to help you out with all your queries. So let's meet once again in our next classes. If you have to know anything regarding our classes, just give us a call at the number which is provided in the description box just below this video. Or you can also join our classes through the link that is given in the description box.